Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss about one of the most important laws of current electricity, that is Kirchhoff's laws. Now, before discussing this law, we need to know some of the meaning of some of the terms. So let us see what are those terms. We need to know about electric network at first. So what is an electric network? So suppose this is a combination, this is an electric circuit where you see where you can see a number of wires are connected together, that is a number of conductors are connected together, and this total thing makes up a network. So many conductors, when a number of conductors makes a complicated circuit, okay, then it is known as an electric network. Okay, so this is a complicated system of networks, circuits or conductors connected to one another, and this makes an electric network. Okay, then we should know about electric junction. Now what is an electric junction? So when the meeting point of one conductor with the other is known as a junction. So it can also be defined as any point in an electric circuit where two or more conductors are joined together. So here you can see three wires are here. Okay, so these are joined at this point. So this point is known as a junction point or only junction. Okay, two or three conductors join at one point. Then branch. So what is a branch? So branch means an arm of the network. Okay, so suppose there is a junction here, there is one junction here, another junction here. So the portion between the conductor or wire between two junctions is known as a branch. So this is one branch, suppose here is another junction, this is one branch, this is also another branch. So this portion is known as a branch. Suppose we have a network like this. So this is one branch, this is another branch, this is another branch. Okay, so next we shall see what is an electric loop. So suppose a network is, conductors are connected in this manner. So a network is represented in this manner, suppose. Then, so any closed path that we take inside the network, okay, is known as a loop. So this is a closed path. We consider that we want to take the current along this direction. So this is our loop. It is a closed path inside a network. So the concept about loop will be more cleared when we see the next part. Okay, so it will be more clear when we solve numericals and when we learn about Kirchhoff's laws. Now Kirchhoff gave us two laws. Okay, so the first law says that in an electric circuit, the algebraic sum of currents at any junction is zero. What does it mean? So see here, suppose this is a junction where a number of wires are meeting at this junction. Okay, so you can see some of the arrows are pointing towards the junction and some of the arrows are pointing away from the junction. That means suppose this is current I1, I2, I3, I4 and I5. So here it is written that in an electric circuit the algebraic sum of current, so it will be currents at any junction is 0. That means there is a summation sign, you can see summation of current. That means you have to add all the currents. Now you see here how many currents are there. So you can see I1. Now since I1 is positive, because here you have to take one convention that whenever current enters the loop, okay, we take it as positive, and when the current leaves we take it as negative. So I1 minus I2 plus I3 then minus I4 plus I5 equals to 0. Okay, so here we can see I1 plus I3 plus I5 equals to I2 plus I3. If we take the negative terms on this side, so we get this thing. So this is our first law. This is also known as current law also. Okay, so I hope it is clear. It is very simple. So just you have to add up all the currents. You have to see whether the currents are entering or leaving, and then you have to add or subtract accordingly. So here you can also say this thing, that these are incoming current equals to outgoing current. So here you can see all these currents are incoming current and all these currents are outgoing current. That is the currents which are leaving. Now let us see the second rule. The second rule says that the algebraic sum of the changes in potential around any closed loop is 0. That means changes in potential means delta V equals to 0. We know that is summation of delta V equals to 0. That is changes in potential, sum of all the changes in potential around any loop will be equals to 0. And we know V equals to E minus IR. So we can also write it as E summation of V equals to summation of IR. Now there are some conventions that you have to remember while solving a numerical based on the second law. So always remember, if this is a cell and you are going in this direction, suppose you are going in this direction or the current is going in this direction, then you have to take the V as negative of E. And if the current is in this direction, then your E will be positive. EMF will be positive. Why? Because we know inside the cell the current flows from negative to positive. So here you see it is because we are going in this direction, so here the potential will be plus of E, and here when you see our direction is this direction, but inside the cell the current flows in this direction from negative to positive, so V will be minus of E here. Okay, minus of E in this direction, in this case. Another thing that you have to remember is, if so this is a current and this is your resistance, then here as we go, so since we are going in this direction, in the direction of current, means our loop direction will be towards this direction. When we will solve the numerical, these things will be more clear to you. Then V will be plus of IR. Okay. Now suppose this is current, this is resistance, and we are going this direction, then V will be minus of IR. That is, current is going in this direction, okay, but we are taking the loop in this direction, okay, so then V will be minus IR. Okay, so to understand about the Kirchhoff's laws, we will solve one numerical, or we will take one example, not exactly a numerical, let us take one example. We will not assign any numerical values, just we will see, okay, let us see let us assign one numerical value only and see how we can solve for current. Now, generally Kirchhoff's laws are used to solve complicated networks and in finding out currents. Okay, so sometimes it becomes difficult to find out currents or solve for voltages in a complicated network. So Kirchhoff's laws helps us in this regard. Okay, so let us erase this portion and see one example. So suppose we have an electric circuit. This is our electric circuit, and let us name it as, so naming is very much important. You can go in a cycle A, B, C, D, E, F. So all the junctions should be named. Okay, this is very important in solving Kirchhoff's law. So all the junctions should be, all the corners should be named. Now let us take it as E2 and E1. Cell of EMF E2 and cell of EMF E1, and this is our R1 and this is our R2. Now first of all, whenever we will solve a numerical based on Kirchhoff's law, what we have to do, we have to consider a loop. Which loop we want to take first? So suppose, another thing, current is given in this direction, okay, I1 and I2. So current is given, resistance is given, and EMF is given. So first of all, you need to consider the loop. Which loop you want to consider? Which network you want to consider for solving the voltage or current, the voltage, sorry, which loop you want for solving the voltage. Now, before that, let us see one thing. So here we can apply both the laws only. The first law is known as KCL law also, and the second KCL law. KCL, and the second law of Kirchhoff is known as KVL. Okay, Kirchhoff's current law, second law, since it deals with voltage, so it is known as KVL. So let us write here, applying KCL. What we can write now, see one thing, you have to notice properly. See, here current is entering from this loop, okay, then you see another current is coming here. So in this junction, what will happen, this current is again coming from here to here, and this current is coming from here to here and meeting here. So at this point, what will happen, your current, since both the currents are entering, so we will get I1 plus I2, okay, I1 plus I2 we will get. equals to 0, let it be. Okay, the sum of current entering a junction is equal to 0. So this is applying KCL. So first of all, in a circuit you have to see whether in any junction all the currents are entering or leaving. This you have to see. Now suppose I2 is leaving from this portion. Imagine if I2 was leaving from this portion, so we would have written I1 minus I2 equals to 0. Okay. Now you have to apply KVL. So now you have to consider a loop. So very important, we have to always consider a loop. In that direction only we have to solve the problem. So let us consider the loop. In loop, so let us consider this loop A, B, C, F, A. A, B, C, F, A. We consider this loop A, B, C, F, A. Okay. So very important. So you have to go, you have to take your direction in the manner of this A, B, C, F, A. So you have to look into the circuit in this manner, from A to B to C to F to A. Now let us solve. So we know, since there is E here, so we can solve it. We can use this formula. So using this formula, how we can solve? So you see one thing, we are taking this direction. So sorry, loop direction is our loop direction is like this. So since we are going like this and coming like this, so our loop direction is in clockwise direction. Okay. So in this way you will draw a loop, and this will signify that you are going in the clockwise direction. So now let us see, since we are going in this direction, so EMF in this case will be positive, because the current inside, since we are going this direction, and current inside the cell always flows from negative to positive. So we can take like this. So then now we will go towards this side. So here you see another EMF is there. Now in this EMF we are going this side. Okay, because our loop goes from this side to this side. So we will see now towards this side. Now our direction is this direction, but current inside the cell is always from negative to positive. So what we will do? We will write a negative here. So E1 minus E2. Now let us see the summation of I into R. Now you see, so whenever current flows through a resistance, you have to take the product of current into resistance. So now you see your current is going this direction, and we are also going this direction. We are going this direction, and current is also going this direction. So we will take I into R1. Then you see your current. So we will go now this direction here. So suppose we took I into R1, and here there is no resistance, so we will not take anything. So now we will go towards this resistance. So this resistance is named as R2, and now current, you see this current is coming this direction, but we are going this direction. So what we will take? Minus I2 into R2. Okay, so this was our first equation. This is our first equation. Okay. Now let us write the first equation here. I1 R1 minus I2 R2. Now which loop we will consider, that is again important. So now we will see this loop. Okay, so we'll go from F, C, D, E, F. So loop F, C, D, E, F. Again we will go this direction. Now Let us again see, we are going in this direction, EMF is then, that's why positive. So now we don't have any other EMF here, so let it be like this only. Then what we see, so I2 is this direction, so our loop is also again in this direction, in clockwise direction. I is this direction, we are also in this direction, so I2 R2. Now you see there is another resistance R3. So now from here I2 is there, but in this branch you see current becomes I1 plus I2. Okay, so now what you will see, so now current goes like this. Here there is no resistance, so we cannot take I into R. Here we again come to this branch, so here we see current is going this direction, we are also going in this direction, we are also going in this direction. So what we will take, sorry, plus I1 plus I2 R3. So this is our formula. So here we can do one thing, I2 plus I3 plus I2 into I3. Okay, so this is our equation 2. Now suppose values were given. Suppose this is 1 volt, E2 is 2 volt. Imagine these were the values. Okay, and your I1 was 2 and I2 was 3. Sorry, ampere. And your R1, R2 and R3, suppose all are of 2 ohm. Okay, so in that case, how we can solve equation 1 and 2? So equation 1 can be written as, so E1 minus E2, so E1 is 1 minus E2 is 2, negative. Let us take E1 as 2, E2 as 1. So E1 is 2 minus 1 equals to I1 R1. I1 is 2 into R1 is what? 2 minus one of the things should be not known to us. So let us see what is I1. Suppose we don't know what is I2. Suppose we don't know what is I2. So E1 is 2 minus 1. So I1 is 2 into R1 minus R1 is again 2 and I2 we don't know, and this is R2. So 1 equals to 4 minus R2 is 2, so 2I2, or we can write 2I2 equals to 3, or I2 equals to 3 by 2. Okay, so from equation 1 only we got I2. Sometimes we need to take two equations and solve by using simultaneous equations. So if you solve by putting the values here also, you will get the value of I2 as 3 by 2 ampere. Okay, so in this manner we can easily solve. Sometimes both I1 and I2 are not known. So in that case we can again solve both the equations and find out. So suppose I1 and I2 both are not known. Here we got I2 equals to this. So in that case, suppose I1 and I2 are both not known. 2 minus 1 equals to 2. R1 value is 2 minus 2I2. Okay. So this is our first equation, or we can write I1 minus I2 equals to half, because this is 1 and 2 will come down. Next, equation 2. Suppose we take E2 as 1, I2 we don't know. So 2I2 plus 2I1 plus 2I2. Okay. So here we can get 4 I2 plus 2I1. So this is our second equation, or 1 equals to 2I1 plus 4I2. Now we can use simultaneous, we can solve by simultaneous equations. So I1 minus I2 equals to half, and 2I1 plus 4I2 equals to 1. So what we can do? We can multiply this by 4. Okay, we can multiply this by 4. Then what it becomes? Then it becomes 4I1 minus 4I2 equals 2, and this will remain the same. So now solve. So this is our equation. So now what do we get? This will get cancelled. 6I1 equals to 3. Okay, so 6I1 equals to 3 we will get. So let us write it here. 6I1 equals to 3. So by solving the simultaneous equation, we got 3 equals to half A. Okay, so one thing, in the first part, right, applying KCL. Okay, let us solve for I2 first. Let us solve the first equation. Let us see. Equation 1. I1 minus I2 equals to half. Therefore, I2 will be I1 minus half. So I1 is half minus half. So 0 ampere. Okay. So this is one random example we took. All the numerical values we took randomly. So we got here I2 equals to 0. Generally you will get values of I1 and I2. I2 or I1 you won't get 0. You will have some values. So for in this case, but we have taken here any random values. So here we are getting I1 as half and I2 as 0 ampere. For one thing, please correct it. In the first part, when applying KCL, I wrote I1 plus I2 equals to 0. I wrote, so that you erase it, that will be equals to I. Okay. So here in this case we are taking it as I. So I, that is the current that is here, the current that is flowing in this branch will be the sum of two currents. Okay, so here we cannot take it as 0 because it is the third current that we are representing here. So we have to write it as I. So don't write it as 0 in the first part. So let us be careful of these things. So that's all for today. I hope you all have understood it. If you have any problem, you can comment. And so that's all for today. Thank you and keep studying.